In today's fast-paced business environment, failure is not an option. Companies must constantly strive for success in all their endeavors. However, the path to success is rarely smooth, and organizations often face setbacks and failures along the way. It is crucial to understand the reasons behind these failures so that they can be avoided in the future. Failure can occur at various levels in an organization, from individual employees to entire departments or the organization as a whole. Each level has its own set of potential causes, but some common themes emerge when we look across different organizations and industries. By understanding the most common reasons for failure, companies can take steps to prevent them from happening and increase their chances of success. This video will discuss the most common reasons for failure and how to avoid them. We will explore why most businesses fail and what you can do to ensure your business is not one of them. So stay tuned and let's dive into this important topic together. Reason number 1: lack of focus. When a company lacks focus, it means that the organization is not clear on its goals and objectives or is pursuing too many goals that are not aligned with each other. A lack of focus can lead to wasted resources, missed opportunities, and ultimately failure. To avoid this pitfall, companies must define their vision and mission statements clearly and make sure that all employees are working towards achieving those goals. Leaders should also establish systems to monitor progress and make adjustments as needed. By staying focused and adaptable, companies can increase their chances of success. In addition, it's essential to have a well-defined target market and value proposition. Without a clear understanding of who you're serving and how you're providing value, it's easy to get lost in the competition and fail to stand out. Reason number 2: failing to anticipate change. Failing to anticipate change is a common reason for failure, especially in today's rapidly evolving business environment. Many companies fail because they don't recognize the need for change until it's too late. They become stuck in their ways and resistant to adopting new technologies, processes, or strategies, which can cause them to fall behind their competitors. To avoid this, companies must be proactive in identifying and anticipating changes in the market and be willing to adapt quickly. This means investing in research and development, monitoring industry trends, and being open to experimenting with new ideas. By staying ahead of the curve and embracing change, companies can position themselves for success in the long run. Additionally, companies need to encourage a culture of innovation where employees are comfortable taking risks and experimenting with new ideas. By fostering this type of environment, companies can increase their agility and ability to respond quickly to changes in the market. Reason number 3: lack of planning. One of the most common reasons for failure is a lack of planning. Without a solid plan, it's easy to get off track and make poor decisions that can lead to disaster. A lack of planning can manifest in several ways, such as failing to conduct proper market research, neglecting to develop a comprehensive business strategy, or not having a detailed financial forecast. Whatever the form, a lack of planning can derail even the most promising ventures. To avoid this pitfall, companies must develop comprehensive plans that address all aspects of the business, from marketing and sales to operations and finance. Plans should be regularly reviewed and updated to reflect changes in the market and the company's performance. Remember, failing to plan is planning to fail. Reason number 4: poor management. Poor management is another leading cause of failure in businesses. Ineffective leaders can make decisions that don't align with the company's goals, fail to motivate their employees, or create a toxic work environment that leads to low productivity and high turnover. To avoid this, companies must invest in developing their managers' skills and providing them with the necessary resources to lead their teams effectively. This includes providing training on topics such as communication, decision-making, and team building. Companies should also establish a clear chain of command and accountability to ensure that everyone is working towards the same goals. Additionally, it's important to hire managers who are not only competent, but also share the company's values and have a track record of success. Reason number 5: lack of expertise. Sometimes failure can occur when a company lacks the necessary expertise to execute its plans effectively. This can be due to a lack of knowledge in a particular area, such as marketing or technology, or it can be due to a shortage of skilled employees. For example, a company that wants to expand into a new industry may lack the specialized knowledge necessary to succeed. Similarly, a company that fails to keep up with technological changes may fall behind its competitors. To avoid this pitfall, companies must invest in developing the expertise they need to succeed. This may involve hiring employees with the necessary skills, forming strategic alliances with companies that have the expertise you lack, or investing in training and development programs for current employees. Additionally, companies can leverage the expertise of external consultants or advisors to help guide them in areas where they may be lacking. By investing in expertise, companies can position themselves for success and avoid costly mistakes. Reason number 6. Insufficient funding. Insufficient funding is a major reason for business failure, especially for startups and small businesses. Without enough money to support operations, companies may struggle to pay their bills, invest in growth, or weather economic downturns. This can lead to a vicious cycle where the company's inability to generate revenue leads to more funding shortfalls and further struggles to grow. To avoid this pitfall, companies must carefully plan for their funding needs and explore all available sources of capital. This includes not only traditional sources like bank loans and venture capital, but also alternative sources like crowdfunding and peer-to-peer lending. Additionally, companies should develop a strong business plan that demonstrates their ability to generate revenue and manage expenses effectively. By securing sufficient funding and developing a sound financial plan, companies can avoid the pitfalls of insufficient capital and position themselves for long-term success. Reason number 7. Ignoring customers. Ignoring customers is a surefire way to doom a business. Customers are the lifeblood of any company, and without them, a business simply cannot survive. When a company ignores its customers, it can lead to a decline in sales, a negative reputation, and ultimately failure. To avoid this pitfall, companies must prioritize customer service and make it a core part of their business strategy. This means not only providing excellent customer service, but also actively seeking feedback from customers and using it to improve products and services. Companies should also make it easy for customers to do business with them by providing multiple channels of communication and making the buying process as simple as possible. By putting customers first, companies can build loyalty, generate positive word-of-mouth referrals, and ultimately drive success. Reason number 8. Failure to learn from mistakes. Failure to learn from mistakes is a common reason for failure in businesses. Every business will face challenges and setbacks, but the ability to learn from those mistakes and adapt is what sets successful businesses apart from the rest. When a company fails to learn from its mistakes, it is likely to repeat them and ultimately face even greater challenges. To avoid this pitfall, companies must establish a culture of accountability and continuous improvement. This means not only acknowledging mistakes, but also taking steps to correct them and prevent them from happening again. Companies can also benefit from implementing systems for tracking and measuring performance so that they can identify areas for improvement and celebrate successes. By learning from mistakes and continuously improving, companies can increase their resilience and position themselves for long-term success. Reason number 9. High employee turnover. High employee turnover can be a major obstacle to a company's success. When employees come and go frequently, it can disrupt team dynamics, reduce productivity, and damage morale. Additionally, the costs associated with recruiting, hiring, and training new employees can be substantial. To avoid the pitfalls of high employee turnover, companies must focus on creating a positive work environment that values and retains talent. This means offering competitive salaries and benefits, providing opportunities for professional development, and fostering a culture of appreciation and respect. By investing in their employees and creating a workplace where they feel valued, companies can reduce turnover and create a more stable and productive workforce. Reason number 10. Not adapting to feedback. Not adapting to feedback is a common reason for failure in businesses. Feedback is essential for growth and development, whether it's from customers, employees, or industry experts. When a company fails to listen to feedback and make necessary adjustments, it risks falling out of touch with its target market and failing to meet their evolving needs. To avoid this pitfall, companies must establish a feedback loop that allows them to gather, analyze, and act on feedback quickly. This means not only soliciting feedback through surveys and reviews, but also actively listening to what customers and employees have to say and being willing to make changes based on their input. By adapting to feedback and remaining flexible, companies can stay ahead of the curve and position themselves for success in an ever-changing marketplace. In conclusion, there are many reasons why businesses fail, from a lack of focus and failing to anticipate change to poor management and not learning from mistakes. Each of these reasons can contribute to the downfall of even the most promising companies. However, by understanding these common reasons for failure and taking steps to avoid them, businesses can increase their chances of success. Remember, success is not guaranteed, but by learning from others' mistakes and continuously improving, companies can set themselves up for a brighter future. So, if you're an entrepreneur or business leader, take heed to these lessons and make sure your company is not doomed to fail. Instead, strive for excellence in all areas of your business and never stop learning and adapting. With hard work, dedication, and a willingness to learn and grow, you can increase your chances of achieving long-term success.